All right, shalom, shalom. Boaz here. Wanted to talk about wood burning stoves again. Now, this is another wood burning stove that I was able to pick up off of Facebook Marketplace, and I was able to as well get the stove pipe. And typically, when I'm buying a wood burning stove off of Facebook Marketplace, it's from somebody that's selling their home, or they just purchased a home and they don't want the wood burning stove in there because they don't want to have to deal with the loading of the wood burning stove. Or another big thing is that, which is true, is that a lot of insurance companies will not, excuse me, insure your property or your home if you have a wood burning stove. And this is why I got this one. This one particularly is a Country Hearth wood stove. It's the 2000 model. And again, this one has a secondary burn feature to it. I was able to get this for probably about I think I paid $200 for this wood stove in particular. And the only thing that I have to replace is the actual bricks in there, but it came with the manual and everything. And so the beautiful thing about this one is that I can just throw it right inside of my office cabin that I have right here. And it's a beautiful thing that I have an office cabin. I have my own space away from everybody. So it's real nice to be able to do that. But I can throw this wood burning stove, and that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to create a nice little pedestal for it, tile it out. It's going to look real nice. But the idea is that, again, when you have wood burning stoves and you're off grid, this is the primary way in which we heat our homes. So you got to make sure that, your windows are double pane windows. It's nice and insulated. And as well, like I've said before, you want to make sure you get an oversized wood stove for your area, whether it's a cabin or home. So if it's 1,000 square feet, you want to get something that's going to heat up to 3,000 square feet, so forth and so on, because it retains more of that heat. And the way I'm doing the actual double wide is I'm replacing all of the windows. I have probably about 1, 2, 3. I've got about 5 more windows that I have to replace. But the main windows have been replaced in the home. No, I'll probably say about 1, 2, 3. No, 3 more windows that I have to replace in order to ensure that the heat that is being produced by the wood burning stove is maintaining that heat throughout the home. And that is the key right there. So I take this high heat, you see, up to 1,200 degrees, and I use that to get a nice coat over it. Now, this particular wood stove is a cast iron wood stove. It's still beautiful. It can rust, and what I'm doing now is I'm putting about 3 or 4 coats of this stuff on this thing. So this is my 3rd coat. I'll probably do about 2 more coats before I go ahead and fire it up for the fall. But again, hey, wood burning stoves are the way to go, especially if you're going to be off grid. But, another thing that I wanted to talk about is, heating the wood burning stoves, because in order to heat the wood burning stove, you need wood. It is time consuming. I noticed that, when we had one wood burning stove going, which in the double wide, we had it going, it wasn't too bad. I had plenty of wood, but still, you gotta heat that wood. You gotta store that wood. You gotta chop it and everything, and it's work. So imagine, as your homestead or your community, your family grows. Now I have 4 cabins all together, 3 cabins in a double wide, and they all have wood burning stoves in them. And so at any given time, especially in the fall, I'm going to have anywhere between 3 to 4 wood burning stoves going at any given time on the homestead. So, it is very time consuming to cut down trees, purchase trees, or purchase wood. So what I've been able to do is go ahead in here and find out how I can source wood. Now, an excellent way that you can source wood is lumber yards, because they cut off the excess amount of the husk of the trees, and that can be burned, and you can get that for $10. And depending on where you live, and you live close to a lumber yard, you can get that wood for $10 a rick, or $10 a stack, and all you got to do is just run a chainsaw through it. Or you can get a whole slew or a whole truckload of boxwood for about $500. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase about 2 truckloads, have them dump it off, and then resell it, so that it's not going to cost me any money. Because when you sell it in smaller quantities, you know, you can make more money. I can sell it in $50 for a bed truckload, but you know, at the same time, them truckloads, those dumpster trucks, you know, they can hold about 50 of those. So I can go ahead and sell wood as well, because I have been a purchaser of that block wood in the past, going to take my 16-foot trailer and going to somebody else that purchased that stuff in bulk, but they didn't have the money to, or the end user like me didn't have the money to purchase it in bulk. Well, I had the money. The key is that I didn't know where they was getting it. See, now that I know where they're getting it, I can go ahead and get that truckload dumped off on the front of the property, sell the excess, and then therefore I can fund my own wood stoves or the heating of my own homes, and I can practically do it for free. Just like I'm purchasing those slabs, the same place I'm purchasing those wood slabs from, that rough cut lumber, and I'm reselling it, and it pays for itself. It's not costing me anything. I can go ahead and do those blocks as well. So that's going to be the plan in order to heat the wood stoves, or heat the homes with the wood that I'm getting from there, and then resell it, and thereby making my money back. So it doesn't cost me time, energy, effort, money. All I have to do is resell, as well as those blocks do an excellent job of heating the places. Now, this is nothing more, this cabin particularly is nothing more than like a 12 by 12 area, and it's enough for, you know what I'm saying, my office area, a bed, a couch, and everything. So boom, you know, that's a done deal right here. So this will heat up that area just fine, and it's gonna look real beautiful on the background when I'm doing my videos and stuff. So I'm looking forward to tiling out the area where the wood stove is gonna be, and I'm telling you, it's just gonna look banging. But you know, again, I only paid $200 for this wood stove, and I got the pipe also. You know, the pipe, you know, can cost you $200 alone, let alone installation. And this is why it's so important to learn how to do this stuff yourself. Because see, now I know how to source a wood burning stove. I know how to maintain. I know how to upgrade and fix it. I know how to source the parts for it. I know how to install it. I know how to use it. I know how to get the wood to burn it, to heat it. You see the entire process right there. So the name of the game is self-sufficiency, and this is how you do it, but you got to innovate it as well. You got to innovate, and this is how I'm going about innovating. I mean, this is going to be a nice little wood. You see the secondary burn feature it has up underneath there. The secondary burn straps. All I got to do is get some cast iron or some steel beams in order to put the wood there. But replace the blocks. Any broken blocks, I'll just go ahead and replace. You see all in there. So, hey, they can be replaced. No problem, you know. But this is how we go about doing it. Beautiful wood stove. Look at that. And as well, it has the capture, so I can go ahead and empty out the wood stove as well. So, I mean, it all works. And then we use that wood ash for the gardens. We use that for compost and toilets. And then, you know, I mean, the compost toilet is going to be going away because we're going to have everything running up and running. But, you know, when I replace all of the plumbing, which I have all of the materials for, but this is all what self-sufficiency about. Right here, baby. And this is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that finish. Yeah, it works real well. But I will keep you posted.